Hello, everyone. It's your girl, Cheekies, and you've reached the voicemail box for Dear Chiquis. I'm here to give you advice on anything and everything you need help with. Maybe you're going through a breakup. Maybe you're having issues with your family. Or maybe you need help figuring out how to balance your checkbook or how to start a business. Whatever the case is, I want to hear from you. Remember, these are my thoughts and opinions, and if you're suffering from an issue or hardship, you should seek help from a qualified professional. All right, now go ahead and leave your question at the sound of the beep.
Hi, love. I want to first and foremost say how much I love you and support you from the bottom of my heart. You are a very important person that I look up to, and I wish you all the blessings to come your way. Also, I can't wait to see you perform again soon. So, my issue is actually with money. I get paid, and first thing I do is pay whatever I need to pay. So, like, as far as like my cell phone bill, the internet bill, and the gas bill. And whatever I have left over, I do tend to go shop or go out with my friends, but I do end up wasting all my money. So my question for you is, I wanted to know if you could help me out on giving me tips or advice on how to manage and save money correctly.
Oh, Papash, I love you. Thank you so much. I can't wait for you to see me in concert again too. Okay, so regarding your question, this is something I've struggled with as well. So I get you. I get it. We have extra money. We want to spend it. It gives us like a little like high, so I understand. I'm glad to hear that you're very responsible and you pay your bills and all your responsibilities first. Good job. That's amazing because you have to take care of your credit. Okay, credit is very important in this world. Doesn't matter how much money you have. If you don't have credit, you have nothing. Okay, so take care of your credit. All right, so with that being said, after finishing with paying your bills and your responsibilities, I would say before you think of even going out and buying yourself something, you have to do this. You have to put, even if it's $20, Papa, $50 to the side and say, this is money I cannot touch ever. This is for a rainy day. This is for a trip I want to take. This is for whatever. Take it as one of your bills. It's one of your bills every month that you have. $50 to my savings account, and don't touch it, and make yourself that promise because that is for your future. Make yourself that promise that I'm not going to touch that because that is for my future self. Okay? Try that. That'll help you a lot. And sometimes what I do, even now to this day, I ask myself, is this a necessity or is this a luxury? If it's a luxury, then I can live without it. I ask myself, is this a live without or a live with? And most of the time, I'm going to tell you, it's like, okay, I can live without this. Come on. And I talk to myself literally out loud. I'm like, no, you don't need this, Janae. You don't need this, Chiqui. Stop. You're being ridiculous. And I have to tell myself that porque si no, I'm like, me compro todo. And then at the end, I'm just like, damn, I spent money on just ridiculous things. So ask yourself those questions. Like, yes, sometimes we want things, but is it necessarily the best thing for us? So this is going to take time. It's going to take time. It's still something that I do every day, but put that money to the side. You owe it to yourself because you work so hard that, God forbid, we go into another quarantine. I don't know. You just never know because that happened and came and shocked us all. Just never know what can happen for you to have that cushion. Okay. So you're not like blindsided. So that is my advice. Okay. I can't wait to hear how much you save. All right. So our second question comes from Nelly.
Hi, Cheekies. I'm such a huge fan. I've followed your career toda mi vida. Y me encanta todo lo que haces. Amaba a tu mamá. Amo tu mamá. Son unas chingonas. Anywho, my question for you today is, how did you separate your mom, the superhero, from your mom, the flawed human? I'm 24 and I've grown so much this past year and have come to the realization that my mom is a real life human. And I think you can fully grasp this perception only when you truly grow up, if that makes sense. I've always had my mom on this pedestal and that she's the all-knowing, invincible superhuman. But unfortunately, no, that's not the case. She's a real person with real struggles, anxieties, hopes, and dreams. And I love her to death. But I'm having a hard time seeing eye to eye with choices that she's made or choices that she makes.
Nelly, well, first of all, you sound like a very intelligent young lady. I love that. And thank you for your question. I'm going to tell you why. Because as I was hearing it, I was thinking of my mom. And it made my heart, I don't know, it made me want to cry. Because I was very hard on my mom growing up. because I felt like she had to be perfect. You're a mom and you can't go party. And I was hard on her. She always said it. I was her worst critic, and I was. And like you said, understanding and compassion doesn't come until you get older and until you realize, well, she's a human just like me, and she is living her life and trying to figure things out. And now that I'm living certain things that she lived, then I'm like, damn, I say sorry out loud. I'm like, Mom, I'm so sorry. I remember criticizing you for this. And little did I know, now I'm living it and I have so much compassion. I think the word here is compassion, babe. It's compassion. And just knowing it's okay if she's making decisions that you don't necessarily agree with. It's really none of our business. It's her life, and she's the mother, and she has all the right to make mistakes just as you will. You're going to make mistakes and you're going to do things that she isn't necessarily going to agree with. And that's going to be hard for her. It's going to be a hard pill for her to swallow. But I think it's just understanding that we're here on earth trying to figure shit out, in our own way. And one thing that I live by is living and let live, live and let live, live and let live. And that also applies to our parents, and we shouldn't be so hard on them. So I love your question because I know that you're trying to grow as a daughter and trying to, you're looking for answers. And I love that. That just shows the maturity in you. So that's what I could tell you. Compassion, babe. Compassion. Now more than ever, I feel it as I get older. I'm like, damn, Mom was right. So it'll just come little by little. Thanks for your question. And thank you for all the beautiful things you said too. Porque tú también eres chingona, I can tell. Okay, so our third question comes from Karen.
Hi, Cheekies. First off, I want to tell you how much I love you and admire you and everything that you're doing to represent our culture in such a positive light. I recently had the pleasure of meeting you at the Night of the Jack, and it was such a pleasure just to see how amazing you are in person and in real life than you are, as a celebrity that you are. But anyways, my question to you is how to get out of your own way. I've recently decided to leave my very toxic job about a month and a half ago, but I'm really struggling with what to do next. I'm very lucky enough to still live at home with my parents, who are just so supportive and more than I could ask for. But I know that I'm meant for something great. I just don't know how to get out of my own way and do it. Part of me is scared of failing, but I know that it's inevitable. I just want to be able to have the courage to be scared, but do it anyways. And, I know that you've gone through so much in your life. You've still been able to overcome and do amazing things. So just help me find, how do I find that within me? Help. And I love you so much.
Yeah, oh my God, I met you. That was such a fun night. Anyways, okay, so Karen, hear me out. First of all, I think it's great that you left your very toxic job, because that's not easy. You just said you took a leap of faith and you said, this is what's best for me. And that's great. A lot of people stay in those situations because they're like, okay, I got to pay my bills. And like you said, you have the blessing of living with your parents and they're supportive and they're understanding. So that's great. Now, I don't know exactly what it is that you want to get into, but I understand that it's scary because stepping into the unknown is always scary, because you don't know what's going to happen. But imagine living with never knowing because you were too scared to take that step. Like looking back 2 years from now and saying, damn, if I would have done it, where could I have been? I understand that feeling scared and worried about failing. It's scary, but that's what helps you grow. You grow as a person when you do things that are scary, that are uncomfortable, that maybe you tried and it just didn't work out. But that's how you grow wisdom and you grow strength, and it makes you and molds you into the person that you're meant to be. So I would say just try it, whatever it is that you're thinking of doing, and grow knowledge. I'm telling you guys, knowledge, I always say this, knowledge is power. So whatever it is that you're trying to get into, just fill your mind and your body and your spirit with all of this knowledge of this particular subject, because we don't know what it is, and just inform yourself, dive into it completely. Si lo vas a hacer, hazlo y hazlo bien. Do it and go all the way. And look, you have your parents. Thank God you have your parents that you don't have to worry about, I think, like paying the bills or anything. So that's great. You already took the first step and you left that job that wasn't making you happy. Now you're on this pursuit of happiness. Actually, watch that movie, The Pursuit of Happiness. It'll inspire you. You will see how much he struggled and he made it happen, dude. So watch that movie. Ooh, I'm gonna watch it tonight too, girl. I'm gonna watch it. Let's watch it together. Okay. All right. I'm sending you a big hug. All right. So this is our last question. It comes from Jessica.
Hey, Cheekies. How was your experience talking to Karol G?
Ooh, Jessica. Oh my gosh. This is such a good question. Okay. Well, Karol is such a beautiful human being. Like, such a beautiful human being. Like, I love her music. Obviously, we see her. She's sexy, is guapa. Like, but when we spoke, and we've spoken a couple times, like, I feel her soul. And I even told her mom this, and I told her sister. I understand now why she is so successful, why she is where she is, because she's truly humble. Like, when I went to her concert and we were backstage, she took the time to say hi to everyone and hug them and looked at them in their eyes and was really focused and present in that moment and saying, thank you for being here. She's so grateful. She's so graceful. It was just beautiful, honestly. And then the second time I saw her, again, she made me feel like I was the only person in the room. She went and said hi to everybody. Her parents are amazing. It helps that she was raised by two amazing parents because you could tell they're all very humble. Her sisters, everyone's just so nice. And she's Karol G, she is a mega superstar, but she's still Carolina. And I think that is the most important thing is like, it doesn't matter how big you are and how big you get. And I see artists, trust me, right before my eyes. I've lived it in my family. I've seen it with friends. People even right now, and I will never say their name, where they have changed right before my eyes, where I'm like, what? They are completely different people. But I think her success came a little, not later, but she's a little bit older. She's more mature. So I feel like she has struggled so much to get here that she really appreciates it. Like she is like so excited to be on Saturday Night Live. Like she's just so grateful. And I think that that's like the best thing you could do is have an attitude of gratitude. And it was just beautiful. And I'm so grateful that you asked me this question because I've been wanting to tell people. Like I tell people that like around me, but like I need you guys to hear it. Like she is a beautiful human being. A beautiful human being, la verdad. So Jessica, yeah. So if you listen to Karol G, listen to it with like, I don't know, with different ears because what you hear is really what you get. So, all right, guys. So this concludes this episode. Ya es el tiempo que tenemos el día de hoy. Muchísimas gracias a todos. Espero que les ayude con sus preguntas. I look forward to hearing your questions and feel free to leave me any questions. Doesn't matter what it is, you guys, love, relationships, anything that you may have at speakpipe.com/Cheekies and Chill podcast. Okay? Hasta luego. Hasta la vista, baby. Los quiero mucho. This is a production of iHeartRadio and the My Cultura Podcast Network. Follow us on Instagram at My Cultura Podcast and follow me, Cheekies, that's CHIQUIS. For more podcasts from iHeart, visit the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to your favorite podcast, and check us out on YouTube.